welcome to another video on the JayBee
and
Milly channel. Today we are going to be discussing the Scooby Doo Looney Tunes crossover Funko Pops. So I know JayBee not so long ago did his initial impressions to these, kind of his thoughts on the models and things like that. I was at work, so now I'm back. I'm going to have a chat about them too, kind of go over what I think, bounce off some of JayBee's ideas a little bit, and also cover some of the new news that's been released, such as like the prices and where to get them.
Yeah, I guess first and foremost, I want to say that if you are in the UK or in any parts of Europe that Funko Europe caters to, there is actually, it's not really a pre-order, it's a notification for the pre-order. So I'll leave that linked in the description down below. It's basically that notify me button. So if you sign up to the newsletter, you'll be informed of when they are available for pre-order. I guess also to that end for our US listeners, I don't think it covers Canada, but it might. Scooby Doo and Cameron 2 posted about where to get the pre-order stuff for the US side of things, so I'll leave his Instagram linked in the description as well. So we're kind of covered on all bases. Or in Europe, check in the description. If you're in America, check in the description. Don't know what the issue is with Canada. Someone will have to let me know in the comment section, and I'll try and source out where the kind of pre-order or pre-order is for that. So yeah, so I've given my opinions on all of them. I don't know which one you want to start with, Milly.
I mean, I've just got up our Instagram post and I'm just going to go over them in the order you've put them on there. I mean, full disclosure here, and this is where I become the most hated person in the world. I've never seen Looney Tunes. JayBee's tried to make me watch like the live action one, is it?
Yeah, like back in action.
A couple of times. But other than that, I've not seen a thing, and so I'll admit some of these are going to confuse me, and I might have some controversial opinions.
Oh, I mean, that's actually a good setting, because what I kind of broke down when I was doing my initial video on this, and again, you can check that out on the channel, is it actually works out perfectly, and I didn't realise it. I was kind of analysing what personalities they had that linked up with the other one, and ones that they could have maybe done better. So I guess this is more a design perspective now, because obviously you wouldn't know about the personalities of them.
Yeah, I mean, the first one you've put on the post is Daphne. And this is already going to get controversial because I love what they've done with Daphne. I think the dress is really good. I kind of like how I'm guessing the character has a hair bobble a lot. And I like how they've made that purple.
Yeah.
But the stylization of the character, and this is where I'm going to rely on JayBee. Does this represent this character well? Because for me, this is an odd look. Like, I feel like the dimensions are slightly off with, I know Funko kind of blows the face up a bit, but I think these kind of shapes around the side and stuff you see here.
Well,
I know,
no one's going to know what you mean by hair, but we'll put it up on the screen. So you're referring to what when you say hair?
Like, I don't know, that bit around the mouth. Can you see that? Like, I almost feel like that's a different shape that doesn't need to be there. And Funkos normally have more of like I don't want to say a square head, but like that kind of ovally shape. Do you know what I mean? Whereas that almost seems to take more of a triangle shape. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm just not a huge fan of this style. I mean, admittedly, taking what I can get with any Scooby related Funkos here. But that's my thoughts.
Yeah, Lola Bunny's a weird one, because I think her main fandom spiraled in Space Jam, because I think it was actually a weird thing. I think hella people started simping for her, but I never watched the original Space Jam movie. I was more into Back in Action, so I was never really on the Lola Bunny hype train to begin with. But I see what you mean. It's like, I think us, from our perspective, even me having known Looney Tunes, I was almost approaching this as if Fred Jones was Bugs, but in actual fact it's what if Bugs dressed like Fred Jones and vice versa for all of these people. And so when you mention the dimensions of Lola Bunny, I think what they would have done is taken the same type of mould that they would put on a Lola Bunny Funko Pop, but then used the same mould that they would have used on a Daphne Blake for the body. So it's a bit incongruous, and I think the reason why they've done that is because I think they've tried the best that they can to match the poses of the gang to the original releases. So you'll notice hand on hips for Daphne, and obviously that's an iconic pose, but even if you look at the same thing that Fred's doing, same thing that Shaggy's doing with the Scooby snacks, all of it is based on that initial design. So it's kind of like there's been a blend of how much do we stray away from this character and it's almost like they've tried to have their cake and eat it in a lot of these circumstances.
Well, I mean, I feel like I'm perhaps bringing the negativity with this. If you go to the Shaggy one, so that's Daffy Duck as Shaggy, it's fine, it's good, but I don't think it looks like a Funko Pop. Like, if you look at the head to body ratio, it looks too even.
No, I like the design of it, but for me that was one that I had an issue with in terms of the personality being quite different. I mean, it is bizarre. I think more than... They've never done one, unless maybe they've done a Howard the Duck one, but you'd never have a pointy out beak and also 3D hair on a Funko Pop usually.
No.
So I think they've done differently. I think the one thing that makes me almost sour to this collection, even though I do actually love it, the one thing is, like, I'm just imagining what they all would have looked like as Funko sodas.
Well, here's my thoughts. I was about to mention sodas. To me, the Shaggy one looks more like a soda. You see that head to body ratio?
Yeah.
To me, that looks more like a Funko soda than a Funko Pop. Do you see what I mean?
A bit, but at the same time, I feel like they could do better with the ratio around the face area if it was a soda.
Maybe. Now, one thing I have to say is my favourite one, other than the Mystery Machine, which we'll get to, is Fred. Simple, basic, like it.
Well, it's as clear as you can get, because Fred, leader of the gang, Bugs Bunny, the face of Looney Tunes, it just makes sense, and it is what it is. They've kind of just done what they should have done with that.
Yeah. Okay.
It would have been cool. See, here's the thing. I don't think they took enough risks with this. So, for the Shaggy one, I almost wish that they'd had, like, Daffy snacks, or they'd changed the Scooby snacks. I don't know. Or with that, we've got Fred's ascot being, orange. It would have been cool to have made that into the shape of a carrot, or just... I don't know if they were going to commit to an idea to give us some type of variant instead of that uncanny valley of, let's rip a head off the Bugs Bunny and put it on the body of Fred. I don't know.
That, like I say, is actually my favourite one. I mean, I like the Velma one as well. I think they could have done more with it. You could have Velma's outfit on the body.
See, the Velma one's kind of my favourite in a way.
But it's the cutest. Like, how do you make Velma cuter than Daphne? What are you doing?
Well, if you ask a lot of the viewers, Linda Cardellini would answer that question quite easily.
True. And the Tasmanian Devil one as well, I'll admit, I looked at this 2 or 3 times and then was like, oh, that's Scooby's collar.
Yeah, which is like the whirlwind.
I wasn't fully there with this initially, certainly. I don't know, I feel really negative.
I didn't like that at first, but then when I thought of the nature of the Tasmanian Devil, like, those multiple colours are serving to show how quickly it's spinning around. But also, if you think about it, there's a scene in Scooby Doo 2 where he turns himself into the Tasmanian Devil. So it's actually almost a Scooby Doo 2 reference as well.
See, here's me getting negative. I think with this one, they're going to have bitten off more than they can chew, because there's like 5 dog tags there, and I want to see the SD clearly on all of them. Do you know what I mean? This is going to be a big one that's down to attention to detail, and I'm not confident they're going to do it.
The one thing I don't like is I think they've overdone the Scooby, because if you think about a Scooby-Doo and Looney Tunes collab, you want Bugs Bunny, like iconography, which we have, but if you look at this whole collection, just take a step back, not once do you see a Scooby face anywhere, and that's kind of jarring.
Yep.
Like, I think what they should have done is maybe switched up a little bit, like have one of them with a Scooby-Doo t-shirt on, or like Tasmanian Devil. I don't know how they would have done that. Maybe just make a Scooby with that kind of swirly thing around it. Like, I don't know, just to me, it was a bit like people were saying with the Funko sodas. Even though I thought this was a stupid argument, I think it's applicable here. Like, if you've got a Scooby-Dum in that one soda, then you've got a Scooby-Doo club without a Scooby-Doo. Like, to me, I don't know, it's a common anyway. But with this set, no matter what you do, you can't get a Scooby-Doo. Like, I don't know, it didn't sit well with me.
No, I agree. And then we get to the last one, which is the Bugs Bunny and the Mystery Machine, and that's my favourite. No comments.
Yeah, I was just saying, you can rely on Funko to be good quality, right? And this is, if nothing else, a brand new Funko quality Mystery Machine, which is amazing. And I think the packaging is underrated as well. The fact that it's got that centenary marking on the top.
No, that's very true. I guess I'd not looked at the one with the box on it. But no, that's good. It is. Again, they could have maybe done a backdrop on the cardboard behind the mystery machine like they do sometimes.
Yeah.
They could perhaps done more there. And as well, I kind of don't see why the box is just clear purple. I feel like you could make it more Warner Brothers-y or more like Looney Tunes Scooby Doo.
Oh, it's a bit disgusting. But
like, sorry.
You look at this, it's Warner Brother Discovery branding pretty much. It's a bit bland. Yeah. Whereas if it was, back in our day when it showed like the Village Roadhouse studio before every movie, like, the start of 2002, it has like piano music like like it was more colourful back in the day, and now that they're trying to brand everything as Discovery, it's just gone a bit. I don't know how to describe it. Like, what's inside the boxes are good, but the boxes themselves are not great.
If I were designing this, where they've put the purple, I'd want the mystery machine pattern.
Ooh.
On the outside of the box. Think about how good that would look. Especially for the one that doesn't have the mystery machine in it.
Yeah. I don't know. There's a lot they could have done. I mean, ultimately, I don't hate it. It's fine. It's just they could have done better.
For me, the box looks like the first draft that you take to your initial board meeting and they're like, let's make some amendments. It doesn't look like a finished box, certainly.
No.
I guess kind of summarising opinions-wise, I mean, I'd say the Fred one's my favourite. I really like how they've done that. My kind of second place one, in terms of the individuals, would be Velma. Again, it's quite cute, quite sweet. They could have done a bit more there, but it's fine. Tasmanian Devil third, but like I say, I'm expecting some good attention to detail. Fourth would be Daphne, and I really don't like the Shaggy one. But of course, above all, the mystery machine, like you say, it'll be good to see a Funko quality mystery machine. Because obviously we've seen like the Dobbs one, and there's some like die-cast ones, and it's just nice to see a Funko product.
Yeah, I agree. It is a shame not to see any sodas in this line. But I guess if you want to... Have we broken down the prices that people can pay expect to pay for this? Because we don't know about like piece counts or anything. I don't think these are limited. It's weird. Because we've had, obviously, like I say, an announcement of some American outlets getting them. We're also like having a Funko Europe sale of them. So I don't know how quickly these are going to sell out, if they're going to sell out at all, like if they're going to restock at any point.
Do we think it's going to be like the coolers, where they do go really quickly?
I don't know.
Or do you...
you can't tell.
Your personal opinion, do you think it's going to be like the coolers and they go quickly? Or do you think that some people will be quite cynical of the design and how they've been incorporated?
I think it'll be exactly like it was with the coolers in a way. I think it'll go like a light in America, but I think the UK, maybe it takes a day for it to go out of stock, at least the first time round if they are going to restart.
Yeah. No, I can see that.
Even if you look on the Instagram page that broke all these images, the initial ones before they were released on the website, FunkoInfo_, he posted like 5 new things in a row, and that got the least amount of likes, the Scooby stuff. So I don't know if that's a gauge on interest or not.
Possibly. I mean, like you said, price-wise, these are all more than attainable, because I think what you've got to remember here as well is what we're used to with Scooby is having to pay scalpers prices, or things have been just, they're no longer making them, so you just have to pay.
Yeah, like vaulted. Like the Daphne ones are like 60, 70 normally.
Yeah, you don't get any choice in what you pay. Whereas this is actually good to see. I mean, all the individual ones are 12, and for the mystery machine you're looking at 33. That's UK pounds, obviously. I guess for America that might perhaps translate to, say, $17, $18 individual and about 40 for the mystery machine.
So what is that overall?
So for us in the UK, it's going to be 93 to get the full set.
93, huh?
£93. I guess you're looking $115, $120 maybe. But obviously, I don't know if the prices vary.
Oh, I'm hoping they've done that in a weird, cynical way, but it would make me happy. Is that there's like a delivery option that will make it exactly £100 for the centenary.
I just hope there's an easy option where you can click order full set. Let's go.
Yeah, I really hope that this is handled properly, because I can just see them doing like false scarcity on this just to make people buy more or panic to buy them. But to me, these are amazing. But it would be nice to just see a normal release for once. Like, you can walk into the Entertainer or Smith's and see one. Like, imagine, like, oh yeah, Smith's is where you go and there's loads of Bugses. You go to the Entertainer and there's, Daffy and Taz's. Like, just a normal release like that would be nice, but...
I'd prefer that, because here, Scooby fans are getting stuck with Looney Tunes things, and Looney Tunes fans are getting stuck with Scooby things. I personally just prefer to have the Scooby stuff. And I've got a question for you. What's your thoughts on Bugs been used twice? Is it a good indication because it's Fred that drives the Mystery Machine, or do you think they just ran out of characters to collab with?
No, I think what they did in terms of the characters is they had a ranking of, like the top 5 most popular Looney Tunes characters, and then kind of bent over to make each one of them incorporated within the guy. So I think they started with the Looney Tunes characters, and so Bugs, Fred drives the Mystery Machine. I think they've done that well, but they're not the characters that I would have instantly have jumped to initially. Like, I think they could have done with a few more. Maybe they will announce that, like some like exclusives or like flocked ones. But I think they could have had something nice where they tried to make Sylvester as Velma, and then Scrappy as Tweety, that thing. Like, I don't know, just something a bit different. But I think they played it quite safe here, and to that end, for all it's not mind-blowing, I think all of them are really good. It's just, there's other ideas that I would have had personally. So, yeah, I guess that's it. Once more, you can pre-order these in America, I believe. I'll leave a link to, the Cameron 2 page in the description down below, where there's probably going to be updates regularly on all the American outlets for them. On our end, we're at JayBee Milly Vids on Instagram. We're going to be kind of telling everyone where they can find these in Europe and the UK. So if we do find these in Smith's or any of the other shops that we have here, be sure to know that we're going to be posting about it, and hopefully it's not going to be too difficult. So yeah, if you want to see that, then please like, comment, and subscribe.
JayBee and Milly.